Hi, this is János, and I'm going to do a critically important video now. And this video is how you can tell it for yourself whether single drivers like void pipes or folded pipes are a good choice for you or not. This video is for those of you who are at that stage in your life that you have a regular commercial loudspeaker, you are largely happy with it, or maybe you are unhappy and then you are trying to find out something different. Many of you have seen the Tech Ingredients video, which has over 1 million views, and that is a void pipe, and it's actually, I have to add, it's a highly unusual void pipe, very different. It has some things about it which is just his own take on it, but it sticks out as much from the void pipes as possible. I'm really glad that he got so many hits on it, but that's not a typical void pipe, okay? And I received questions on it, is it good or not? János, I noticed he builds it differently than you. What's your answer for that? I'm going to answer it in a separate video because it deserves its own title and its own space. So now, going back to whether this approach will work for you or not, most people, what they do is maybe you have at home like, let's say, an $8,000 focal speakers or some Bauer Wilkins speakers, but in the thousands of dollars of range. And then you spend maybe like $50 on an MDF material and maybe like $100 for a driver, and you build void pipes with that much expense, like let's say under $200, and you compare it against your $10,000 speakers, and no one is surprised that the $10,000 speakers play 10,000 times better than the pipes. The only surprising things that you will notice is that there will be aspects from your pipe which will be still better than aspects from your $10,000 speakers, and that's what should be the jaw drop for you. And when you find that there are some aspects where that as bottom put together speaker, if it can play league anywhere in any area with that $10,000 speaker, then that's enough. That should be the indication for you that if you go for an execution that's beyond that dirt rock bottom level, then you will have the other areas where it's sorely lacking compared to a really highly developed $5,000-$10,000 multi-driver speaker, then it will come up. And to how you can make this comparison accurately, because this comparison that you take a loudspeaker that was developed by a team of engineers for a company that's building loudspeakers, let's say for 40-50 years, they have like 10,000 hours of experience put into it, and they have very expensive drivers in it, part selection, everything. They spend thousands of hours on developing that specific product, and you are comparing it to your first made loudspeaker with as cheap materials and the cheapest drivers you could find. Of course, that is not going to cut any mustard at all, and if it does, it's a miracle. And it's not a miracle because it will have aspects that will shock you, and the way to accurately compare a single driver speaker is for you to also build a multi-driver DIY speaker. And that will be a fair comparison, that there's like a two-way speaker that you build with the same budget in mind as for the single driver speaker, and the same skill set, the same mindset. Build them both. Build that 2-3-way speaker for yourself, and on a similar budget, build the single driver speaker. And now that will tell you which is the road that you might pursue for yourself. And what you will probably realize, and I think which is the healthiest thing to do, is to realize that you like both. Each has its own strength and each has its own weakness. And when you are at the bare bottom level, both approaches will have very glaring weaknesses. And as you put more effort, more knowledge, more resources into developing them, that's when the weaknesses will be less and less and less. And those weaknesses might entirely disappear when you match those speakers to the right systems and use them for that kind of music that you love them most with. And you will realize as you progress along that different music can be interpreted in different ways, and based on the system you play with, the exact same album, the exact same MP3 or FLAC or whatever stream can sound radically different. And what I can tell you after listening to music for so long, I love doing that, is that I love when I can hear a song presented in very different ways, because then the same song can tell very different stories. Like for example, Vangelis. Vangelis is perhaps my favorite composer. If I listen to the exact same album on different systems, different speakers, it is like listening to totally different music. It tells totally different things. And even if, for example, I have now the Cube Audio drivers void pipes here, when I listened to the Antarctica here in this room, and when I brought the speakers down to the living room, even just the difference between the room, how it loads the room, how it behaves, it is already like a different system, very different sound. So that's why if you think about what kind of speaker you want for yourself, where you want to go, what is good for you, that's why it's a really hard choice, because even the same speaker, same system, placed in a different room will play in totally different way, will trigger very different thoughts in your head when you listen to the same music. And when you DIY, then it is possible to build really high quality multi-way speaker and really high quality full range driver speaker for yourself. And of course, if you are thinking about, I just want to have one, then just pick one. Even in that case, I would highly recommend just first, if you can, build a cheap multi-way speaker, build a cheap full range driver speaker, and based on which you prefer, follow that route. And that's what I've been doing. And now I have this fantastic void pipe, which was also my first pipe. So my first pipe is also my last pipe. So maybe you can find yourself in that situation that it is possible that just your first build can be astonishingly good. And so far, this has been the only pipe which has done that for me, and that's why I shared it. You can download the dimensions. Anyone can download it. There's a video on that, And of course you can modify it, you can do whatever changes it, but this is something that I built it based on Derek Walton's plans. I modified it a little bit, and really I was just lucky, just crazy lucky with them. And but even with that, I need to have the proper room for them to work. And they are in the proper room, they are amazing. So that's why if you want to try void pipes for yourself, my warmest recommendation is just to build my pipe. And if it doesn't work in your room, then try something else. Because odds are that if you have a good room and it works there, then that will be the best speaker, best pipe, best single driver cabinet that you can build. And you can spend like 20 more years and then you won't be able to come up with anything better. Or but it's not even about better, because it's all about the journey of having fun. And even if you don't come up with something better, that's not the point of beating anyone, but the point is just learning and having fun. And on my side, what I have learned is that this is actually the first pair of serious speakers I built for myself, and the best single driver speaker I ever built. And it took me like 25 journeys in audio, and in 25 years I still haven't built better single driver cabinet than this one. And so that's one of those things. So now what I want to do is for you to have an accurate concept of the single driver speakers, is that when you build for something for $200 cost, do not compare it to a $10,000 multi-driver speaker. Compare it to a multi-driver speaker that's like $200 or $300 cost in it. Yeah, so that's my bottom line. So anyway, and my bottom line is, if you find something intriguing, and not just my ideas, my design, anything, if you find cabinet plans and for some reason it resonates with you, you find it like, oh, I want to build it, that's enough reason for you to build it. And if you want to build something, then don't be too anal about it, looking for negative reviews, because every single loudspeaker in the universe has negative reviews on it. So if you want to have that kind of speaker that everyone only says good things about, there's no such thing. And if it's like that, then my lesson for you is that you will be disappointed, because you will find out that there are negatives to it, because there's negatives to everything. And to make it positive, number one, you need to have system synergy. And but that's another area, another complication. Right now, I just wanted to keep it simple. Just compare things at their own level to make a call that is fair and square. So have an amazing day. Bye bye.